Welcome to Stress Management, your plan for success. Today's discussion and activities are completely voluntary. The information and activities presented herein might be emotionally triggering in regard to stress and coping. At any time, you can stop the process, including activities, discussion, and/or reflection. With a positive and open mind, I do believe that we can accomplish anything. And always, for additional resources, please visit Ohio University's wellness portal at www.ohio.edu/wellness. I'm Dr. Andrew Pueschel from the Ohio University College of Business. You can reach me at pueschel@ohio.edu. We'll start today with our session goals, including questions about why do we want to manage stress, what is stress management, and what are the benefits of stress management. We'll then identify stressors and strain. We'll talk about investing in yourself through energy management, how to create inspirational plans for success. We'll then reflect and have a call to action, and we'll conclude and have session and recaps. This session is designed to help you assess your current standing while encouraging you to make plans for the future using the information within this session. When you see the green pencil, it's your reminder to pause for a moment and write down your reflection. After our session today, you'll be able to understand the concepts of stress management. You'll also be able to understand the benefits of managing energy to manage stress. You'll be able to identify and label various stressors and strains. You'll be able to invest in yourself through energy management. And you'll be able to inspire yourself and others by creating plans for success at home, at work, and in your communities. So stress management, what is it and why do we do it? Well, we all know the impact of stress. We know that stress is bad for organizations. Stress and ill health are negatively related to work performance. Stress costs U.S. employers more than $300 billion annually. Stress is also bad for employees. 60% of U.S. employees are less productive due to stress. And job-related stress is related to negative and physical and psychological health problems, including obesity, heart disease, and depression. So how can we manage stress to have healthier and more productive households, organizations, and communities? First of all, we start with stress management. It can be viewed as a process involving the following: stressors, which are environmental conditions and/or events that require adaptation or attention. Appraisal, asking yourself the question, do I think a potential stressor is harmful and/or threatening? And then strain, the psychological, physical, and behavioral outcomes related to stressors appraised as harmful and/or threatening. What are the benefits to stress management? Well, what do you have to gain? At work, at home, and in the community, there are all areas in which you can benefit. So at work, you can have improvements to organizational culture and less worried about job security, increased communication and transparency between coworkers, management, and stakeholders, and decreased workplace mistreatment and conflict. At home, you can have an increased communication and transparency between friends and family members, and decreased overall negativity. And then within your community, improvements in overall community engagement, as well as increased communication and transparency between individuals and organizations. Well, there's good news. Remember that you're the one that can take control. Stress management can be learned, it can be practiced. So stress management skills can grow over time through life experience, and you can be aware and take the steps needed to be as successful as possible. What are stressors and strains, and how can you identify them? Well, there are positive and negative stressors. And what distinguishes eustress, which is positive, from distress, which is negative, well, it's on how we appraise a stressor. And what supports a positive appraisal of a stressor? Well, positive experiences and outcomes from our past when approaching a certain stressor. Also, an optimistic and hopeful mindset. Do you have expectations that good things will generally happen? And then believing that you can successfully utilize your resources to manage the stressor in the long run. Can there be too much stress? Absolutely. Distinguishing between the good and the bad stress can be tricky, but strains are how our body lets us know what we're struggling with too much. So watch out for the following signs. So we have body aches, headaches, irritability, changes in appetite. Maybe we're more angry or anxious than usual. When we look at our family members and ourselves and co-workers, we can see these traits in ourselves, but we can also see them in others, and it helps us to be proactive in how we communicate regarding stress and or strain. So energy management, how do we invest in ourselves to manage stress? Well, when our energies are high, we go for it. We can save the world. We can conquer anything. When our energies are low, we have to relax and recharge. We have to take time to get ready to exert that energy again. How do we manage our energy? There's many ways to do this. You can use classic tools like a paper and pencil, and you can log what your energy and moods are. You can also use tools and digital apps. This link here for free apps to help you manage your energy and stress is available to you on this slide and also at the end of the presentation. No matter how you manage your energy, make sure it's something that you can do on a regular basis so you can see trends over time. Creating a plan for success, inspiring ourselves and others. Well, traditionally, work and non-work, they've been separated. Well, we know now that things are getting a little bit blurred, and there's this overlap. Well, even now, today, things are completely overlapped, and everything is jumbled together. Family, exercise, work, co-workers, emails, kids. It's all one pool of energy that we have to pull from, but this isn't how we can maximize our productivity. We need a plan. Remember, we only have one single pool of energy. It's 100% of us. We need a plan to help us maximize our success. We need to inspire ourselves and others that covers all aspects of our life. If you think about yourself as a pie, you're 100%. So if you split that pie up and give pieces to each other, to other people, you're only going to give them a fraction of yourself as a pie. So think about it in terms of family, you want to give 100%. When you move over to work, you put the family aside and you focus on the work stressors for that time. This is how we can give 100% to each other as we move forward. So let's try it. We have a green pencil for us. We're ready. We're going to reflect. Our step one is we're going to identify a stressor from any domain in your life. I want you to look over to the right. You see career and academic, emotional, environmental, financial, physical, social, and spiritual. I want you to pick one of those areas and pick something that's specific that is stressing you out. It needs to be something that you can have control over. And you need to be able to define your desired change. Do you want to reduce the stressor, reduce the stressor's negative impact, etc.? For example, I'm overwhelmed by my workload at my job, and I would like to not have such a negative impact on my non-work life. So take a minute and write down an example. Remember, make it specific, something you have control over, and something that you can define the change. Let's move on to step two, investing in an energy management tool that can help you manage the stressor. You're going to choose a tool that you can commit to using. Remember, it could be pencil and paper. It can be a digital app. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. And I want you to define how the tool will help you manage your energy. For example, I'm going to set hourly reminders on my phone to track my energy levels. When the alarm goes off, I'll record my energy level on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being low and 10 being high, on my calendar app. And then step three, inspire yourself with a plan to implement your tool and evaluate its success. Define your plan with specific times for specific actions and defined start and end. Be sure your plan includes opportunities to evaluate your success along the way. And be sure your plan is flexible so you can revise and adapt along the way as well. You can read the example below if you'd like to pause. And then finally, step four, celebrating and sharing your accomplishment. You want to document what tools worked well for you to help manage your stressors so you can use them in the future. And you want to celebrate your success, inspire others by sharing your success in the future. So in our example here, we realized that my energy levels at work are related to deadlines. I was cramming too much work in because I either promised or agreed to unreasonable deadlines. I then worked with my coworkers to ensure that the work is more evenly spaced, and now I'm able to do more with less stress. It was really the stress of managing deadlines that was overwhelming me, zapping my energy and forcing me to work when I needed to be doing other things. My coworkers and I celebrated our new system by going out to lunch. Now, reflection. Thinking about the stress management and how managing your energy might help, make a list of other stressors in your life you think you need a plan for. Now for each one, describe the following. What is your desired outcome? And what is one thing you can do today or tomorrow to start moving towards those goals? Let's begin our session recap, our concluding thoughts. You should be able to understand stress management and what it is. We also talked about understanding the benefits of managing energy to manage stress. We discussed being able to identify and label various stressors and strains. We explored investing in yourself through energy management. We also discussed being able to inspire yourself and others by creating plans for success at home, work, and your community. And then one final reminder. Remember, you can take control. Stress management can be learned. Stress management can be practiced. So this means your stress management skills can grow over time through your life experience. And you can be aware and take the steps needed to be as successful as possible. I always like to conclude by giving my resources for Ohio University's Wellness website, the stats and articles that we used for the session today, and also remember those free stress management apps. I want to thank you for your time today. I hope you found our session to be informational. If you have any questions, you can contact me at pueschel@ohio.edu. Thank you and have an amazing day.